Well, I think, I feel like sometimes when you're hearing conversations, they are very staged, and we were just having a chat about it. It's all, not everything is as well organised as you think it is. We're talking about this in conversation, and we were like, why don't we actually just genuinely wing it? So you guys know it's a genuine conversation that we're having about some topics. So the only thing we might have planned is that, is that we'll just ask each other 5 questions. Okay?
Yeah, well, I'm always keen to talk to you, so yeah.
Ditto, girl.
It's like, I'm usually at home going, I need to chat to someone. Who am I going to chat to? I'll call Hilary. So
I'm always here.
People are just in on the conversation this time.
Totally.
Yeah.
How lucky am I? So let's just talk about some stuff. I'm really so proud to have Elly on board as our ambassador for the Aligned Lip Liners. Let me ask the question. How did we meet?
We met at the All About Women Festival, didn't we? Or actually the Future Women conference.
Oh yes, I remember just sitting there going, holy, she was on stage above me, which is why I'm doing that. Because normally I'd be looking down at you.
Yeah. That's always the way.
Yeah. So I was like, and I just was so, you were wearing blue, we were in the cobalt blue
jacket, yeah.
And you just absolutely blew me away. Your presence, the way that you spoke, the way that you called out without shaming, the way that you motivated and inspired, and the way that your stats and facts. It was just a privilege to see you speak.
Thank you. I think I was talking about how, you know, we all have a responsibility to bring people with disability into our lives. It's on all of us, so that's my favourite topic. So
good.
Of course I was passionate about it, but I had you run up to me after my speech and go, I want to do your makeup, and I was like, that's the best offer ever. Like, thank you.
Because you are, like, one thing I was saying to her is that she has the most amazing sense of colour. She knows her colours, and it was just like, when I saw her, and Elly, your skin is so beautiful and alabaster, and you're stunning. And I was like, and just so you know, I always use makeup as my conduit of conversations. You know that through Holme Beauty, but I also was like, if I can get my makeup brushes on your face,
yeah.
I knew that we could have some good chats.
And we're going to both be at the All About Women Festival the next week.
There you go, yeah.
But of course, disability got in the way, and
yeah.
I couldn't make it to the early start for makeup.
Yeah.
But you still touched me up before I got on stage,
yeah.
and we chatted in that like 5 minutes that we had.
Yeah. And
you got to me after that speech as well, and we just, I don't know, 2 fiery, feisty women who were not taking any crap.
True.
Were like gonna stick together forever.
Yeah. And next minute, I think we were rolling around Sydney late at night, laughing hysterically,
yes.
having a really good time.
Yes, and then it was bonded forever. Yeah.
They go knuckles.
Yeah.
I know, I was like, I don't know why I felt like
yeah. I was like, what's she doing?
I was like, I don't know, I was like,
that would have been really bad.
Just as an FYI, given the reality of this, Shani's like full shaking her head. We're both really tired at the moment, so.
Tired, but it works.
Yeah, well, it's the day of the event today, and
we're really excited.
I went to go do something to you, I don't know why, I was like, zzz.
Peace out, baby, peace out.
I have never done it in my life. Okay, so moving on. Okay, you asked me a question.
Okay, ask you a question. Well, I want to know, like, the inspiration behind the lip liners. That's why we're here today.
Yep, that's a very good point.
You told me just before it has been the most fun product you've ever made. Why is that? And tell us a little bit of the inspiration behind it.
Nice, good questions. I think it's been the most fun because it's the most holistically I've had and I wanted to look at something. So I knew that we wanted to have the disability and accessibility conversation around it. I knew that the square was, you know, going to be really important. I knew that I wanted to do, so a really big thing and a big part of why it was so fun was actually getting to know the whole process of how a wooden pencil's made. made, and once you see it, and we're going to be sharing it through our socials, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So be able to working from a craftsmanship, from then the pigments, and then the conversation, I felt like it was a really holistically great project to do, and it really got me looking at things very differently and outside of the realms of just mixing that with that. I really had to think very consciously around how, for example, like it's very hard to get a very good pigmented pencil in wood, for example. So for me to do that, then in square was even harder. So for me, that's why it's taken so long to get to the table, because it just took ages to get that sort of combination right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was just really fun. I can't wait to show you how a pencil's made, because it's just such a...
So excited.
Like for this to get to here, you have no idea. Like wild, crazy.
Now the Elly exists.
And now the Elly exists.
Yeah.
And she's glorious.
She is glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my question. Okay, so Home Beauty is now showing up in a way that maybe is creating space for you to feel seen in beauty. What would you like to see from other brands and other businesses in the space of, you know, fashion or consumables that you would love to see more?
Can I just say, I just want to see an attempt.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see them try. There's not even a go at it at the moment. Like, it's really, the bar is so low in terms of having people with disability represented in beauty, in fashion. Like, you know, they sometimes throw a disabled model at a campaign, but you know, to go as far as Home Beauty has gone in not just having me as the face of the campaign, but to have, you know, the square pencils, which are, you know, easier to hold, and you know, if you drop them on a table, they're not going to roll off, so I don't have to, you know, try and bend down to pick them up. You have braille packaging, redoing your website to be more accessible. Like, you know, you've gone the whole gamut of what you can do at the moment. There's more to be done, but you know, you're going as far as you can. Most brands aren't even attempting to do one thing. And one thing would be incredible. If every brand did one thing, could you imagine what that would do? And like the response I've gotten so far to the campaign launch this morning is just been, oh my god, I feel so seen. Like,
I mean, socials are going off from that perspective, is that people are like crying and saying, I've just never felt seen this way. It's how easy to have that impact though. I
know, but what are the like huge impact to have on a person to have never been felt that they have been represented, looked at, even considered in a whole industry that is dominates our media advertising, like, you know.
I think that's actually something it's important that we should flag. And you said to me when we were doing it, I said I'm really nervous because, you know, we're a small team. Like, we've got 5 people in our team, and compared to these big brands that have 500 people in their marketing alone, you know, it's really, really hard for us, not like 50 or, you know, a couple of hundred. But it's really hard to do it in a small business. Imagine how easy it is to do it when you've got so many more people in the team. But the thing that I think that we should talk about, which is something that you flagged even in your campaign video, was that, you know, we're happy to admit that we're not doing it perfectly. I do, however, have to say the website function is amazing. You know, we're redoing all of our copy over it to be a bit more simplified and easier to read. We are doing lots of different changes. We acknowledge that it could be done 100% great.
But the thing is, if you wait until you're 100% perfect to do it, you will be waiting forever.
Exactly.
Waiting until you're 100% perfect means you're never going to start.
Exactly.
And I want to say right now, if people are going to go out there and start nitpicking on things that Home Beauty isn't doing, then I think that is a real mistake to be making when Home Beauty is at least going much, 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 much further than any beauty brands I'm aware of. When the big beauty brands who have a lot more resources, a lot more money, a lot more people to be investing in accessibility aren't even trying.
Totally.
Those are the brands you should be going after. The ones that aren't even showing up.
But have the abundant amount of money to do it.
Exactly.
This is the thing, like,
exactly.
you know, there's no reason why they can't.
And like they've made that that isn't a mistake. That isn't them forgetting. That isn't them going like, oh, they've just like left that off the list accidentally. They've actually made that a conscious choice.
Yeah.
They've actually decided that's not a priority for them. And so like hold them accountable for that choice. Hold them accountable for the decision they've made not to represent people with disability, not to actually view people with disability as a customer. Hold them accountable for that. Like Home Beauty at least wants people with disability to feel welcome, you know, as part of their brand, as part of your brand, as part of your community. You know, I think why criticize a place that wants to welcome you when most other places aren't even trying?
But our goal would be that we can inspire maybe another brand to be like, oh, I can do that accessibility panel on the website, or it costs an extra 3 cents to put braille on the boxes, I can do that. Or you know, can I put the I mean, I know that it's something that I could have done easily for a long time and I didn't. I did find it because I'm so on the go, and it's at the time I always was like, oh, to write that extra bit was hard, even just like image descriptions on socials. But it's something that I just have to be like, you know what, don't post if you can't do it. And I think that I'm reforming my brain to be like, if you can write the first paragraph, you can write a second.
But it's also smart business because, you know, 1 in 5 Australians have a disability, and we're customers. We're paying customers now who want to buy beauty products, and we're going to buy beauty products from people who take the time to write the image descriptions, who take the time to represent us in the beauty campaigns, and we're going to remember the people that showed up first. We're going to remember the people that cared first, and I think. You know, Home Beauty is in no way gatekeeping this, is in no way wanting
it kind of just motivates others. It's not
to do it.
It's not making us sell more units compared to someone else. It's just simply giving visibility to people, and then in turn, hopefully, like my goal would be that people can see that how easy you can do it. Like, you know, it requires some extra effort.
As the ambassador, like, you don't have to say this, but I hope it does sell you more units. I hope the disability community comes in and buys a whole bloody lot of lip liners and shows the beauty industry that when you make things accessible, we turn up.
Yeah, really good point.
And so, like,
that would be great, actually.
because we love, like, you know, and as a disability rights, like, advocate, for me, it's also a really important way of showing that I can care about the NDIS, and I can care about desegregation, and I can care about the unemployment rate for people with disability. And I can also care that the beauty industry is welcoming to people with disability, and I can care about great lip liners and being in a beauty campaign, and I can do both at the same time. You know, people with disability have lots of different parts of their personality, and it doesn't always have to be really serious.
No, totally. And that taps into everything that Home Beauty is about, is that makeup, people can say that makeup's about masking, etc., etc. It's actually just about exploring, having fun, and I mean, particularly for people who with disabilities that have a lot of challenges that they face, so much more than just the, you know, the able-bodied person. Why, like, it's such much more important for you to be able to have fun and to experience that joy and to get out of your head and be like, I don't want to think about that for a second. I actually just want to have some fun and put on a nice lip liner. You know?
I know. When I'm in lots of pain sometimes, those are the days where I actually want to put on some makeup, put on like something great that makes me feel like, okay, I'm in lots of pain, I feel like shit, but that lipstick makes me feel really good.
Love it. Okay, let's.
It's my
Oh,
turn.
okay, sure. I was like trying to think, I'm gonna do something like light and easy this one.
Oh, light and easy. I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
You are such a badass boss. Like, you are. Like, and I think people with disability have been told for so long, like, you don't have a voice, you don't have a space,
Yeah.
you're not invited to the table. And like, slowly we're getting a seat here and there, but we've never had to use our voice before. How, particularly for women with disabilities, what advice would you give us about making sure we don't take crap from anyone?
I mean, I've been handed all the prejudices and discrimination in certain ways in my life, and I think that if I had listened to all of the advice and messaging and feels that I'd received off other people for the fact that I was 135 kilos, that I was from a low socioeconomic background, that I had a really broken family, that, you know, there was lots of different things, I was bullied really severely. If I limited myself to all of those feelings and all of those moments of lack of self-worth and feeling like I wasn't seen or heard, I would be nothing. So kind of, I have a really strong driver in me that's like, fuck you. And so initially it started off as a fuck you energy, but for me what's really important is to kind of be like, I won't be silenced. You don't have a right to say what I need to be doing, and I have a strong inner voice that tells me that it's not that I have the right, because it's not about rights, it's just like, I will be heard, you know, I have a voice and I will use it. And I think that maybe my experiences, and I think people who are disabled would have the same thing, where you've faced adversities and you face like things where you've had to really learn yourself and become resilient. That resilience builds a fucking good person. And I think that people who have gone through things that have been harder than the most, you know, privileged people, allows them to have so much more weight in their conversations and in the way that they, you know, share and motivate and inspire. So for me, it's simply tapping into the adversities and tapping into the hardships to remind yourself that you've gone through so much, where you've come to, and that person has so much more of a right at the table than any other person there, more than anyone else actually, because I don't want someone sitting at a table telling me how to fucking live my life when they have no idea what life actually means. And life is fucking hard, it's gritty, it's tough, it's harder than it is better, and the person that's giving me that kind of advice or leading me needs to be someone that understands that. So I would say the people who have gone through it, who are disabled, that are feeling like they want to use their voice but don't know how, you just need to get up and fucking start shouting and being like, you know, obviously doing it from a place of, you know, one thing I probably would say I've learned is that you need to bring people along for the ride. And I think sometimes when you've had a bit of a fight, it can be easy to shame. And that's something that I've had to learn and I'm still learning. But you want to bring people along for the ride, and you want to be able to inspire and motivate by still calling out behaviours and patterns, but having conversations. And you will find the right people to do that with. And if people don't align with you, they're not your person. So I would say just fucking step up and stand up. And I think it's important to surround yourself with people that will back you and support you on that. And if you haven't got those people around you, simply reach out. You know, we both showed up to an event that was there to support women, and you've just got to put yourself in front of people and start having the chats.
Yeah. Find your people,
Yeah.
find your women. Actually, to be honest, you've got to find your group of women.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that will evolve always. You're never going to find people that are there for your whole life journey, or you might have them, and that's great, but you know, you're always in a constant state of growth, and therefore you're going to always attract different people at different times of your life, and it's important to connect with them and see that, you know, how you can impact them and how they can impact you, and how you can create really amazing connections through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
What are you most proud about being a disabled woman?
What am I most proud about? I'm proud to be part of the disability community. My community is fierce and it's strong and it looks after each other, and I'm proud that we are always fighting for other people. We are always fighting for greater equality, for greater fairness, for a society that doesn't just benefit us. When there is greater accessibility, when there is greater inclusion, it benefits everybody. You know, if you put in a curb cut in the side of the street, it doesn't just help a wheelchair, it helps new mum with a pram, it helps the tradie with a trolley, it helps everyone. And I'm proud that we're part of a community that does that. And this is a community that does that despite having been rejected over and over and over again. It keeps showing up, and it keeps showing up in a way that is respectful and kind and considerate of others. And I'm just, that's the thing that makes me proud to be disabled, is my community.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy that we can do anything here at Holme Beauty to make you feel like that community, not make you, but encourage you to feel like the community is extended past people who are disabled, to people who are actually here to support and commit to creating more space and platforms for disabled people to exist and to be encouraged to live.
Yeah, well, we're also a very fun community.
Totally.
We're creative, and we love things like makeup and fashion and...
Well, you're a human. You're not like a fucking block of wood.
I know. So thanks for providing us with some products to use that are fabulous. I think we're going to get right behind it. And you guys are amazing. You're a small team, and you're doing really incredible things, and I'm really, really proud to know you. Thank you, friend. Yeah.
Always, my love.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.